how to find the right business mentor. So in the past 2.5 years, I've spent close to 100K on business mentors, educating myself, programs, and a whole stack of other things. Some of them have served, some of them have helped me grow exponentially, and some of them have been real duds. So based on my experience and whatnot, I want to give you a couple of tips on different things that I've seen and that I've experienced as someone who's heavily invested in my education, my energy, my mindset, and everything else, my growth, my impact, so that you can potentially make a better decision on who you want to work with in the future. So my first tip is you want to find someone who you can generally model. And that means that, do you see yourself in their shoes doing what they're doing? And or do you see yourself in their shoes doing what they're doing in your industry, for example, okay? And this is really important because ultimately, if you are going to give your trust over to someone and they're going to give you, tips or strategy or suggest things to you, you need to be able to 100% completely willing to do whatever it takes and take what they have, what they give you on board and use it at its fullest. Because ultimately, a business mentor can give you all the strategy, they can give you all the tips, all the bits and pieces, but if you're not willing to play your game, play your part in that, and really play out 100% of what they do, ultimately it's your journey. And if you don't feel like you have someone that you can trust 100%, ultimately they may not be the right fit for what you do and what you're looking to achieve. If I was to follow their exact footsteps and be where they are in 12 to 18 months time, I'm happy with that and I'm willing to do whatever it takes to get to that point. Which brings me into my second point. You need to be prepared to do everything it takes. Ultimately, you can blame a business mentor, you can blame that the strategy doesn't work or whatever the case is, but like anything, it takes time. And for that reason, obviously, different aspects and different pieces to your puzzle need to be tested and trialed and worked to see if it does actually work for you. If I look back at my own journey, I know that my success is based on the action that I've taken and how much I've been able to adapt the strategy and everything else that I've accepted or I've received, and then utilize that to move forward. My last tip is obviously do your research, watch their videos. Do they align with who you are and what they represent? So a couple of years ago, I did invest in a coaching business, in a coaching mentor who didn't work out. The problem was that they ultimately sold me into something that I wasn't ready for. I clearly didn't have what it took at that point in time. And what I learned during that process is that I didn't really align with that person. He more or less sold me based on what I wanted. And that can sometimes happen, but you really, again, doing your research and knowing what you want before you walk in or before you jump on a call with someone is ultimately going to help you give the best understanding of where you ultimately do want to go from your point of view, rather than having someone ask a question and then feeling like they're pushing you a certain way or they're manipulating you or anything else like that. I think it's really important to understand what it is that you want, how it is that you feel you want to get there, and then having a business mentor who's been in the trenches, done the things that you want to do, to be able to guide you and say, hey, I think that's the right thing you should be doing, but maybe try it this way or that way, and being able to then take on that advice and take on what they're talking about. I hope that serves. Go get it.